Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of not Market Check, but the Bitcoin Show. Maybe appropriately named today, but no. Welcome to Market Check, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Max. Welcome, guys. We are going to have a great show today, and a reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. And today, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about one asset in particular quite a bit. That is Bitcoin. Just sucking the life out of pretty much everything in the crypto markets right now, right? We're seeing a bounce on some of these assets since New York Open, and there are obviously, as I always say, a handful of coins you can point to on chain that are not, tethered or as tethered to this Bitcoin liquidity domination. It's more of these exchange altcoins, but right now the market is flowing one way and one river, and that river is named Bitcoin, just dominating the flow of things, even in the wake of equity markets showing a little bit of weakness on fears of nuclear war, which we'll talk about more, I'm sure, on this episode as well. We have more war FUD. So we'll tackle that again. But before we can get into the charts and, of course, Bitcoin, where we think altcoins are going before and after Bitcoin is going to complete this run, you know what I'm going to ask you guys? If you can smash, slam, destroy that like button even. Right now we are on pace to break records for the weekly like button totals. I think we're over 1,100 likes through 2 shows, which is pretty incredible. So I wanted to shout out you guys as well before we get started. But if you could smash that like button for us, we would be very appreciative. I would love if we could just look at Bitcoin and no soybeans today. That would be great. But right now Bitcoin is dominating the state of things. You will probably hear that phrase a few times throughout the show in a different way, in a few different ways, but that's just the reality. It's rare that we see it to such a degree, but it usually happens when Bitcoin is just trending aggressively in a way where it's not giving any pullbacks. You often see that liquidity leave altcoins, not just to chase Bitcoin, but to continue to support Bitcoin's price before an inevitable rotation back into beta. But right now, we are firmly in the Bitcoin dominance expansion leg. Whenever that is completed, you have to imagine that altcoins are going to experience turbo reversion higher, given the way that they're lagging Bitcoin right now. That includes everybody's favorite coin to rag on, including myself, right? ETH. I'm not immune to that, but I do, we'll talk about ETH as well. I think today's show will probably be a bit more about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's rally does set the stage for I believe a pretty epic catch-up trade for ETH. I know that's kind of it's something that people have said all cycle, but I do think given the context of Bitcoin entering price discovery and seeing this behavior is quite positive, given that ETH has not even entered price discovery yet. Imagine if Bitcoin is all of a sudden trading, 70, 80%, maybe even 100% above previous all-time highs, and ETH is still trading below all-time highs. Where do you think that ETH is going to reprice to? These are things that are going to be occurring here over the next few weeks, the next few months. Exciting times, guys, when Bitcoin is moving like this. I know it kind of sucks right now, especially if you're holding something that is red on a day where you're so programmed and conditioned to think, well, Bitcoin is up, my coin should be up too. But it is, it's just a cyclical process, right? I think at the end of the day. And we will, as I said, discuss that concept on this show. And I mentioned equities. I know we have fears of, I guess we have more war FUD, but I'm not really looking too much into it, quite frankly. I think on the VIX equity volatility specifically, you have a lot of short interest on those 15 and 16 strikes. So I do think there's a vested interest to get volatility back below those prices and see a more proper crush on volatility whenever this war FUD is done, which will probably just last like a day or something, quite honestly. But, we'll continue to approach it as more information comes along. I don't want to keep yapping. I'd love to get y'all's thoughts on Bitcoin, of course. And then, of course, how it will inevitably bleed over into altcoins. But I do want to highlight that the fact that we're seeing Bitcoin aggressively trending in price discovery with altcoins not having any room to breathe is the most materially bullish outcome that we could have asked for, given this range high breakout that we have had ongoing since basically the election. And one last thing I wanted to point out that I didn't realize until this morning, we have not taken a single low on Bitcoin within this trend. I think like one, we might have taken one by like 100 points. We have not taken a single low on Bitcoin since election night. And I mean, some people kind of ask, like, what's the definition of an impulsive move? It's usually going to be one that is an aggressive trend that locks people out and protects market structure. What do you call a trend that has not taken a single low since election night? I will leave it at that, and I will open the floor for you guys.
Yeah, Tommy, I think this is the only one that you could argue got taken. I mean, you could argue like these two, but yeah, I mean, look at this, man. The bid is just being moved up, and that's just what happens when you're trending. Again, I've pointed this out a lot. This looks like 35 to 37K last year, if anyone remembers that. But yeah, guys, I think this looks really good. I think it looks good. There's just not a lot to say, right? It's just like, I think Bitcoin dominance keeps going up. Bitcoin keeps going up. Your altcoins are going to bleed and get dragged, and eventually they're going to pop. And a lot of people are probably going to get chopped in the meantime, if I'm being honest. They're probably going to get chopped in the meantime, but
they're probably all long alts right now.
Yeah, I mean, because somebody asked me in our Discord today, they're like, how do I short this Bitcoin dominance chart? And I was like, just buy altcoins, basically. Like, just buy altcoins. But yeah, I think this probably has some more juice left in it, most likely.
Definitely.
This is just a strong trend, though, man. That's tough. That's tough if you're in altcoins. But here's the thing: like, if you were just waiting for this thing to top out until you bought altcoins, you would have missed out on a lot. So, I think in terms of like USD pricing, I don't think it's really worth it to wait necessarily. But this is just a crazy trend, man. I mean, I think you're getting this kind of final, one of these type of moves, right? And then it's just down only. But that's a key one thing. And we've talked about that many, many times. Your altcoins will rip in Q1 and get dragged up in Q4. And that's exactly what's happening. So what is this war FUD though? Like, I don't even know. Like, nuclear war incoming?
I know it's a headline that scares a lot of people. And obviously, we always see a corresponding spike in volatility when we get the headline. But from a positioning standpoint, I don't really think the market is very well hedged right now for a move like that. So if we did get a spike in like a big spike in volatility, it would immediately retrace, in my opinion.
Wait, hold on. I'm seeing some comments here. Did Andy just get listed somewhere, Max?
Yeah, it's trading on Blowfin right now.
Ah, interesting. On spot, correct?
Spot, yeah.
Nice.
Little birdie told me that perps are coming soon, but I don't know. The birdie, it's a bird after all. So
it's just a bird. Can't really trust them, but
it's just a bird, man.
Our
squawking and squealing.
I've never been a Blowfin enjoyer. Is Blowfin nice?
I mean, you have to try it out.
I will have to try it out.
Do you guys think birds are real? Have you heard that?
Ooh, good question, Tommy. I've thought about this.
Of course, Tucker perks up.
Yeah, no, I've done my research. It's kind of TBD.
Tucker's brain is like a cue ball, man. There's no corrugations at all, man. It's just
smooth. Zero.
It's like someone took sandpaper to it, It's just smooth.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I
to
mean,
talk
we could
about.
talk about birds, but I mean, are dinosaurs real? I mean, that's the
Hey,
real,
hey. I
Really
was just
not.
having a conversation with my wife last night about how if I have a son, they're probably going to be a dinosaur son. So I need you guys to not encroach
The
on
dinosaurs.
that.
Look, we'll let him believe in dinosaurs as
Oh,
long as he believes in the Tooth Fairy and Santa. All right, it's no problem. But there
Wow,
will
man.
come a time when
Wow.
Uncle
oh.
Tucker's going to teach him all about dinosaurs.
OnlyFans daughter or dinosaur son.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Look, guys, this is it might not feel like it because Bitcoin is a liquidity vacuum right now, but this is actually the best thing for your altcoin bags. And I know you're like, "Oh, what the heck? Like Bitcoin is just chatting and like my altcoins are red and like I don't know, maybe I messed up, maybe I should be all in Bitcoin and it's the global adoption and it's countries buying and all the maxis are loud telling me that ETH is going to zero and
Mm-hmm.
same thing every time, guys. Just wait. Okay, just wait. Let Bitcoin break out, finish this expansion above its all-time high, and then suddenly you're going to wake up and it's going to be alt season. And the next like 4 to 6 months are going to be absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane for altcoins. It happened last cycle, and I'm going to show you guys some charts today, but this is that final extension up on Bitcoin dominance and the final puke low on ETH BTC or just like Bitcoin alt pairs. That's what's happening right now. So the higher Bitcoin goes, the more established it becomes. Ultimately, the bigger the speculation bid on your altcoins is going to be, right? And we've talked about the dynamic for, a lot of you guys, myself included, really concentrated in ETH beta, really kind of handcuffed by ETH, right? Well, I'll tell you that like you're gonna see sometime probably it might be like December 1st. Like it literally might just be like a calendar rollover. What you're most likely gonna see is like ETH gap up $500 in a day, and it just never comes back for that inefficiency. And it just chads. Like ETH could be trading at 5K by the end of December. You know what I mean? Like it can happen really, really quickly. I'm telling you, like I've seen this before. I've been here before. This is not going to be a Bitcoin only cycle. You've had little glimpses into what alt season will look like, and we'll talk about that. I'll show you guys some charts as well. But this is not the time when you like ditch your altcoins to go like all in Bitcoin. Like cyclically speaking, that is the worst as from a trader's perspective. I'm not talking about value investing or fundamental investing. Okay, there's always a reason to own Bitcoin if we're talking fundamentals. I'm talking about 6-month projected RR from this point moving forward. Cyclically speaking, historically speaking, based on what we've seen in the past, this is actually when you want to start piling into altcoins for that mean reversion trade, the catch-up trade, and it comes quick.
Have you felt that FOMO, Max?
I
Because
wouldn't say it's like FOMO because I know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
I would say if this was my first cycle and I was seeing all the Bitcoin propaganda right now, I would be feeling like I did last cycle, where I was holding a big bag of ETH and it wasn't moving, and I was watching Bitcoin rip above 35, 40K. And I was still learning how to do this. And I was, seeing all the famous celebrating the death of Ethereum space, that we always joke about. We've got a picture of it. I think it was a Clubhouse space or whatever. RIP Clubhouse. But I remember feeling like, oh shit, like I thought I was gonna be smart and buy ETH to outperform Bitcoin, and I'm getting my teeth kicked in. And then kind of right at that very moment, come end of November, December, January of 2021, or was it 2021? It was all ETH, man. ETH did nothing but show strength for basically a year and a half against Bitcoin, even amidst pullbacks, right? So I wouldn't say I'm feeling FOMO because I haven't had a choice but to hold on to my bags, right? Like I'm in ETH beta for much lower. Like I bought Pepe, which is still way up against Bitcoin. I bought Andy, which is from when I bought it way up against Bitcoin. I bought Wolf way up against Bitcoin. Brett way up against Bitcoin. You know, like I'm kind of all in on my like ETH beta, you know, boys club thesis this cycle. So there's nothing I can do. Like I'm not gonna like swap out of these like micro cap on chain. I mean, I could sell Pepe or Brett, you know, but it's like I'm not gonna be swapping out of my on chain bags to buy Bitcoin because like the slippage is gonna kill me. And even if there's another, you know, 8 to 10% in Bitcoin before we see an altcoin rotation, it's like I know exactly what I'm seeing, and that's what I was talking about in the Andy and Wolf mega space the other day, is understanding what you're trading and what's driving this market so that you can make educated decisions rather than being like, oh, the Bitcoin maxis are telling me my altcoins are going to zero and this is a Bitcoin only cycle, which again, they said last cycle and they said the cycle before. And I'm all for rooting for your bags, right? But that's also, you know, not true. That's that we have no evidence to suggest that that has been true or will be true this cycle. So it's about understanding the market mechanics on a granular level and understanding the rotations and flow of capital so that, you know, you might be like, oh, damn, I should have hit a Bitcoin long, but you're not going to like give up on really sound bags and holdings because you're seeing like a 1 week, 2 week period of, you know, L1, you know, Bitcoin L1 outperformance against your altcoins, which again is the healthiest thing for your altcoins, even if it doesn't feel like that right now, you know, but that's a long, really long, yappy way to answer your question, Tucker. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've felt it a little bit. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I'm not gonna sell anything, especially in 2024 for U.S. tax reasons, of course. But I'm like, damn, would it just be nice to just buy like, you know, a
this is
couple
a good
Bitcoin a
call.
month?
This
You
is
know,
a good call here, man. You should probably
sell
do that.
in the
This is a
immediate.
great call. Yeah,
Fortunately, I remembered this feeling last cycle, and I hedged it by simply owning more Bitcoin this cycle, just not Bitcoin.
Oh, I see, Tommy. I see what you did there.
I mean, I own some puppets, man. I haven't checked the floor price, but I assume the floor is holding and USD price is going up, right?
Yes.
Floor is not going up, but USD price is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. USD is
I have
going up.
exposure to Bitcoin. That's fine.
It's down in Bitcoin, up in USD season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which will inevitably be up in Bitcoin, up in USD season afterwards. But yeah, this part is the part that's not so fun because I feel like, I mean, this is kind of like the final hurdle, more or less, if you are holding altcoins. They've given a lot of opportunities to shake you out of positions, obviously over a 6 to 8 month range. And now this is the part where Bitcoin's in price discovery and you're underperforming. And this is where they want you to chase Bitcoin right before they inevitably rotate into altcoins, specifically ETH, which, by the way, I mean, can we talk about the sentiment around ETH for a second? It's time-wise, we are very close. We're very close to a reversal point. And I don't know if I think that ETH Bitcoin is going to make all-time highs imminently or whatever, but I do think that ETH Bitcoin, for a pretty big reversal, is probably not very far away.
Yeah, it's probably close. I mean, people are here. Let me pull up ETH. I was just looking at total versus others. I mean, others is prime. Oh Jesus, my dog is jumping off of chairs. Others is prime to catch up, right? This is really a factor of Bitcoin doing what it's been doing. But yeah, no, what you said about ETH, Tommy, like, I mean, people are kind of getting it, but not really. You know, I think I drew this out at the beginning of the show. I really think ETH is like right here. Like it just gave this move, right? And it's pretty much right here because it does make sense contextually from a timing point of view in relation to all-time highs. I mean, I think that's pretty much where you are, and you're not going to get, you know, the same percentage move off the low, which was, you know, a 13x last cycle. But oh my god, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, we're in log. That's what's going on. We're in log. But
Study.
it'll be a big move. It'll be a big move.
I kind of view it like this. Sorry, Max. I was just going to say, I kind of view it like this. Like, imagine a world where Bitcoin is suddenly trading 100% above its previous all-time high at like, I mean, maybe not 100%, but like hypothetically, if Bitcoin's trading 100% above the previous range high, which was around like 70K. What does that mean contextually for ETH if it's still trading near like, I don't know, 3,000, 3,500? It means that there's going to be a repricing. People will be fudding ETH, but it will reprice very, very quickly, as it loves to do. And we've seen this with ETH Bitcoin candles. Jackus has been talking about it. ETH Bitcoin made its move last cycle in 2 months, and it's been spending the last 3.5 years backfilling that impulse candle.
I'm expecting the same thing this time around. I really am. And
where do you think we are in here, Max?
I think we're in that little U-shape thing down there, right before we had the parabolic expansion.
What,
right
like
there
in here?
Yeah. We're like maybe even further down.
Lower. Yeah.
Like we're somewhere like around there, man.
Yeah, because you haven't taken out like this
Yeah.
is basically like, you know, the top of this little range.
Yes. And I would argue that if it weren't for the Bitcoin ETF, we wouldn't have gotten that much of an overextension this early. But yes, like I think that we're right in there. And Tucker, do me a favor, throw up Bitcoin below this chart. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, always pulls up the RSI.
The RSI, enjoy or.
All right.
Like, look at when ETH finally broke above that black line right there. It was when Bitcoin was already like, what, almost 2x above its previous all-time high, something like that.
Bitcoin was at like, wait, okay, when ETH broke above here.
Or I would say, so draw out the complacency shoulder, not the top of it. Draw out the complacency shoulder on ETH.
This one?
Yeah, draw that one out. Because that's kind of like the tell of when you're going to get a face ripper, is when you get above the previous cycle complacency shoulder. So now draw out like a vertical line for where ETH was.
With Bitcoin, yeah, it was basically there.
Yeah, so like I think we're somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like curling up to the complacency shoulder.
Like would you put it on? Because I mean, we broke the all-time high back here, but
yeah, I just think that was like a major overextension due to like the ETF, because like Bitcoin got way ahead of schedule going into March because of the ETFs. Like we probably wouldn't have made a new all-time high if it weren't for those ETFs this early. And then of course, you know, we mean reverted super, super hard for 8 months. Kind of got right back on schedule.
Yeah, we're probably somewhere in here. Yeah, it's like I know one of you said like this is the hard part where you have to just sit back and watch Bitcoin send, but I mean this part is easier than the last part, I'll tell you that much. This part is easier than the last 8 months, I promise. So I'd rather be sitting here watching Bitcoin go up than enjoying this range back here.
Like Bitcoin going up and ETH BTC going down is totally fine. As long as Bitcoin remains strong, you're going to get a huge rotation in altcoins. What we obviously need to avoid is Bitcoin puking and ETH BTC puking as well. Like you can't have both. You cannot have alt BTC pairs bleeding as Bitcoin pukes. I kind of have a feeling though that if Bitcoin were to pull back here, you would see others' dominance go up. Like I think Bitcoin would pull back because you're going to get the altcoin rotation.
Okay. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, this thing has to be bottomed. It really does.
It is bottom, bro. It is bottomed. Like if it's bottomed below the low that was set in June of 2023. We're not going below that. Could we sweep the lows here locally again? Yeah, it's possible. But this thing is bottom, man. This thing is bottomed. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, every time before you really put in that ripper, you kind of get two bottoms with a higher low, right?
Let me show
One
you my
three,
others
one
dominance
two.
chart. I got it.
Yeah,
I'm showing. I Tommied the chart from you.
there she is.
Okay. So we haven't had alt season yet, but like it feels like it's like days or weeks away. Like it is right there. Okay. So let's put Bitcoin down here. And then we'll put ETH down here as well. And we'll just go through a couple examples because the timing is so important to understand. And also, guys, it's time to start panic liking the stream. I will revert to putting up cotton candy futures if you make me do it. I'll do it.
Let's
And
check.
we'll chart it against natural rubber futures. We'll chart it against cotton candy, soybeans, cocoa. Like I might even chart like cotton candy against, against ETH, or like cotton candy against. How would cotton candy against like Andy look? I wonder. Good time to sell some cotton candy into Andy. But
Andy into Andy.
cotton candy into Andy. So let's look at it like this, guys. Let's look at it like this. So others dominance again is your shitcoin pie chart. Okay, as it goes up, alts are gaining market share against Bitcoin. The paradigm that we're all yearning for is we want Bitcoin and price discovery with others dominance rallying. That is the rare, elusive, once every, 4-ish years, you get a small window where the perfect paradigm happens, right? Because what that means is that Bitcoin's chatting and going higher, but it's losing market share to altcoins. That's when you can make some real money in a really, really short period of time. All right, so I'm just marking this up real quick. All right. Let's move Bitcoin up top now. And I need everybody to study this because I'm not going to be a this time is different door. All right. I'm not going to be a this time is different door. It's a dangerous place to be. But if we look at Bitcoin down below, and I'll just make it orange so you guys can see it. Nobody forgets what we're looking at. Okay. So Bitcoin here, others dominance up top. What do we see every single time? So Bitcoin bear market bottom, and you get a tiny little dead cat bounce on altcoins. All right, that's the red dot. Right as Bitcoin finds its bear market bottom, everyone's like, oh, I'll buy some alts because Bitcoin bottomed. And then alts get beaten to crap and make like their definitive low. So, for example, this bleeds down. Others dominance bleeds down, meaning their alts are losing market share against Bitcoin, while Bitcoin launches off the floor of its definitive bear market bottom. Same thing. You put in your high time frame high or low, and then you get mini alt season. Okay. So Bitcoin moves up, but you get like a little, excuse me, you get a little mini alt season. Okay. And then altcoins get crushed after their little mini test pump. Okay. And they put in a high time frame, high or low. See the green dots? And that happens. This crush happens again as Bitcoin continues to rally and finally break the previous cycle all-time high. And then once Bitcoin definitively goes into price discovery, you typically see altcoins go nuts the rest of the cycle. So we're seeing the same thing every single time where you get like your little, altcoin dead cat bounce and then sell off, right? So Bitcoin puts in its bottom, starts moving up, you get a little mini alt season, and then it gets crushed against Bitcoin, right? So what happened here? Little mini alt season as, Bitcoin put in its definitive bottom, Bitcoin starts moving up. It's the exact same thing. Then you put in your high time frame higher lows, right? Same exact thing. You got your mini alt season, right? You got your mini alt season right here. Bitcoin is still, even though we had COVID, was still trending up. It's higher than this low, right? And then once Bitcoin definitively goes into price discovery, you typically see alt season happen. So where are we right now? Well, we had our little mini alt season right here, the blue dot. Bitcoin is moving up. And then alts get basically nuked as Bitcoin is chopping under the previous cycle all-time high and curling up into price discovery. So what's supposed to happen next? As Bitcoin finally gets into price discovery and breaks away, what happens? The next part of the cycle should belong to altcoins. You should see others' dominance gaining against Bitcoin while it's in price discovery. So, like, I understand exactly where we're at right now, which is why I'm not concerned, because we've been doing the same thing for the existence of Bitcoin and altcoins. Every cycle, it's the same thing. And you could be like, well, this time is different. Well, why hasn't it been different so far? Why, if it's different, then why has it been the same? Is it the same up until right now? Or has it always been the same and it's going to continue to be the same? Right? So it's like, you don't want to sell your altcoins right at the last moment. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks. Maybe we need to get to, December 1st or December 15th, or maybe even January 1st. But like, this is that high time frame, high or low, the green dots, where in theory, from that point, when you finally see this start trending up, I mean, the next 400 days should belong to altcoins before their bear market, right? I mean, look at this. Like, this is the next phase of the cycle. Is like whenever, and we probably put in our bottom, right? But whenever this starts to trend hard, I mean, it should take you out to the end of next year, right? So I'm like, this is when your altcoins go ridiculously higher. When you start looking back and you're like, why did I care about like a weak sell-off on my altcoins? Because like, even though you're like, I should be a Bitcoin maxi right now, it's exactly the opposite. Like, you should have been a Bitcoin maxi during the whole Bitcoin dominance rally, which has been the past 3 years. Like, this is not the time to panic into Bitcoin. If you're a trader, this is the time when you panic into altcoins that have shown some strength during this bleed right here from the blue dot down to our high time frame, high or low. So like, I understand the feeling, but I have to side with the data and go, you're trying to tell me that this time is different and it's a Bitcoin maxi, like global adoption cycle rally, and altcoins will be excluded and trend to zero. But we are seeing exactly what we've seen in the previous 2 cycles. The same exact high time frame structure and setup from a timing perspective, from a high time frame pivot and market structure perspective, from everything. I can't get behind the fact that this time is different because I haven't seen any data to suggest that it is. And I've seen the same rhetoric, the ETH FUD, the altcoin FUD, the grave dancing, on altcoins. In theory, this is when things heat up. Okay. And I'm narrating the data. This is not me being like, upset I own altcoins. I'm sitting here zen as a motherfucker. I am just like, let's go. Like do it when you're ready. I'm positioned, I'm zen. I'm cool, collected, unbothered, moisturized, in my lane, flourished and thriving. And I'm patient and I'm waiting because I know that when this green box happens, you're going to see your altcoins, even your garbage altcoins will 5 or 10x, the garbage ones that don't deserve any money. They're going to go crazy too. End of rant.
End of rant. Yeah. I know it's tough. It's tough too to just watch Bitcoin send and your alts bleed, but like, do me a favor, like when is the first top on those 2 last cycle? Just how many days? Because I know we could take it out till like October of next year, but just the first others dominance top.
So let's clean this up. You're talking about this one?
Yeah.
Right,
How long did that take from the blue line?
Pretty sure it's like a few months. Well, I mean, do you want to measure from the pivot low, the high time frame, high or low, that green dot?
Where does that blue line coming from? What is that?
That's just kind of when the expansion started, right? But you can see we bottomed in December of 2016.
Yeah,
but
do it
didn't
from
really
the
fly
green
until
top
February.
then. Yeah, do it from the bottom then, because I think we are bottomed on on others dominance. What is that?
175 days. 175.
6 months, 140.
I mean, you should have 3 to 4 months, right? And we could also look at it like this, Tucker. So let's actually do this now. All right. So let me save this.
I mean, I think you're going to be more so like the 2017 cycle rather than.
How about we put the halvings on and do measurements from the halvings, right? That might be more telling, right?
Let's see.
So from the Bitcoin halving to the first others dominance peak, it's 350 days. From the halving to the first others dominance peak, 371 days. From the halving, let's just say, I mean, 300 and just even do 330 days. Should take you to the end of Q1, right? If we go based off of the halving. And now let's go from, let's go from like the first candle where like we really started to gap, right? Which would be, let's just say right here, right? So we started to really kind of gap up right here. And that hasn't happened for us yet, right? But we are like getting really, really close. So from that first gap candle, it was, 105 days. 126 days from like, when we really started to trend hard, right? So it's like we haven't started to trend hard yet, but I mean, that could come, I don't know, it could be next week. Could be, December 1st. I don't know. But I know that we're doing the same thing we've done every other cycle. The same altcoin carnage, the same grave dancing. It's the same thing every single time.
We just need the space, Max. The death of ETH party.
I feel like we've had a few of those.
When I see that, it will be time because it's going to happen again. I feel like there's a certain level of cyclicality to ETH hate.
Should we run the space? Do you want to run the death of ETH space? And we could
just make it super ironic.
But we have to get the right people on there.
We need, I could name a few. We need to invite them to a death of ETH space and host it for them.
Yeah. Do we structure in a way where it's like we invite Bitcoin maxis and then we invite like 0x's on the space to debate it, to just like go at each other, or do we just kind of host it ironically? I feel like you kind of have to have some Bitcoin maxi vitriol to truly buy.
No. This is what we'll do, Tommy. This is what we'll do. We'll have some maxis on there, and then their only competition will just be Naka. Okay. it'll just be Naka, and it'll be epic.
Oh man,
I don't know if I don't even know if I could listen to that, man. That would be something else.
I mean, we've listened to it before. We've heard it before.
One stream to bottom ETH.
Oh my god.
Bitcoin.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, I'm putting Doge up here too, right? Because like when altcoins start ripping, like Doge has been one of the leaders, right? And it's the oldest altcoin. It's even older than ETH, right? So let's take a look at this.
Need bankless guys to sell all their ETH, and that's the bottom yet. That would be
true.
So looking at this again right here, guys, I can't help but think that like,
oh my god, look at that, Max. Holy, the Doge pump is what? Another one to maybe put on there is XRP, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah. They kind of pump at the same time cyclically. Yeah. So I mean, look, man, I can't help but think that we're doing what we've always done here, where I mean, Doge is probably like right here, man, and like Bitcoin is just like chatting and others dominance is dinking around at its bottom, like right here. This is probably where we're at. And then altcoins go crazy during this next phase,
I think we have a proxy in equity markets that kind of highlights the fact that others dominance is probably bottomed and about to trend aggressively to the upside even.
Is that IWM?
It is not IWM or Hood for that matter. It's actually GME. I think we should look at it.
Oh, good point, Tommy. Good point. Okay, so do GME real quick, but I'm just looking at others' dominance kind of bottoming range in the last cycle took 3 weeks, 23 days. I'm gonna go
It's a
back.
matter of weeks, bro. It's at most like.
You know what I just need to know.
It's probably like 1 or 2 weeks away.
I mean, GME looks like it's like right here, Tommy. It looks like, this was your bottom right around the Bitcoin halving. And like you're just kind of like you're curling up right here. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be fitting if, like a holiday week with low liquidity, we see GME somehow make an all-time high?
That would be unreal.
But I mean, I remember distinctly back in 2020 when GME did that. I mean, that's kind of what started the altcoin feeding frenzy. I wasn't in crypto when GME first started popping off, but I can tell looking back at the charts that was really kind of what kickstarted the speculative animal spirits per se. I think it'll probably be the case again.
I'm just reading this comment. Good point. I was just reading this. Starts and ends the day when FOMC announces going from QT to QE. Well, they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't announced that they're going to quit tightening yet, have they?
I think last cycle it happened in December, if I remember correctly, but I don't know for sure.
When's the next FOMC meeting? Probably December, like 7th or something. Let's see. December 17th to 18th. That's it, man. That's literally it. Or wait. Yeah.
What about Nvidia earnings today? How about that?
I know. That's a big deal too.
I think it's nice of them to fill all of these long volatility calls at the top when they're going to smash volatility on Nvidia earnings. Yeah, nuclear war, bro. Haven't you heard about Nvidia earnings?
What do you think about the people just buying like bet and render in preparation for Nvidia earnings, Tommy?
Dude, those coins suck. Like, I'm sorry. I think they've already kind of done their thing this cycle. Not that they can't make all-time highs again, but I think we're pretty clearly seeing that the market has gotten sick of, because you have the same dynamic every Nvidia earnings. People would buy these VC scam AI coins, and then they'd sell them either right before or right after Nvidia earnings. So the market's kind of become more efficient in the sense that they're not bidding any of that anymore. They're just bidding AI coins on chain. It's like the whole MO. It's all a scam. It's all a scam, and that's being embraced on chain in kind of like a much more underpriced market for these AI coins, because nobody wants to buy AI at a 10 billion FDV or higher. That doesn't make sense. I think that's even higher than that.
Dude, how about this right here from a timing perspective? If we just look at it the other way, 245 days after a Bitcoin halving is when you start to see alt dominance trend, right? So that would actually take us out to the middle of December. So like 3 weeks. When's the next FOMC, Tucker?
It's December 17th, Max. Click on that last range right there. It'll tell you at the bottom. Click on it. Click on that. Now look at now move your mouse a little bit. Yeah, see, Monday, December 16th. Unreal, man.
So you're telling me we got to wait a few more weeks.
Oh, man.
But it'll start with GameStop. I really think you will get a warning shot from GameStop, and then everything will not be very far behind. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's annoying having to wait, and it's probably annoying hearing that you have to wait, because you've been hearing you have to wait for a long time. But it's like the reason that you're here is for the others' dominance pump. That's why you hold altcoins, It's for nothing else. It's not for community. It's not because you enjoy it. It's not because the tech is good. It's because you want it to rally hard while Bitcoin's in price discovery. That's why you hold altcoins. So we're telling you that we're right on track, cyclically speaking, from what we've always done. And it looks like we're getting into like the final window of weakness against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is behaving exactly how you want it to behave, just giga chatting right now. And I'm telling you, like, I promise you, like when the chart was over here and this was bleeding hard, in December of 2020, before we got the trend, how many people really thought that like this was going to happen, where others' dominance would go from 5% to 17.5% in like 3 months? I mean, that's an insane move. And when you really try to quantify that on like what altcoins did, I mean, let's even pull up like Solana from last cycle and see what Sol did during that. And that wasn't even like the big Sol move. It actually came like after that. Yeah, look at like Sol was a baby, man. Like Sol. Look at this. Like from the Bitcoin halving, and then it kind of, how many charts look like this where like they launched and then they just like bled back and didn't do anything? Like so many charts look like this, right here, like this little thing right here. Like there's so many new altcoins that look like that. And from that point forward, when Sol bottomed and others' dominance finally bottomed in December, Sol went on to do 28,000% in the next year, right? It went from $1 to $280 in a year, right? I mean, that's what you're staring down the barrel of. And I know everyone's like, oh, my altcoins feel heavy and Bitcoin. I'm showing you how crazy things have gotten in the past and what's probably going to happen again. And people chasing the Bitcoin pump with altcoins right now, not going to make it. I'm sorry. I love Bitcoin. The company that I started is called Because Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. And I love to see what's happening right now. But, I mean, like, what are we talking about here? Like, this is what you're on the verge of, and you're panic selling altcoins, and look at Sol last cycle. Sol was one of the leaders of last cycle, right? Sol was one of the best performing altcoins last cycle. Look at what Sol was doing. Look at what Sol was doing as Bitcoin was going into the all-time high. Okay, look from this point forward. Bitcoin was chatting right here, and look at what Sol did last cycle at that same point. This is what Sol did while Bitcoin was chatting. Bitcoin went from 9K to 20K, and Sol went from $5 to $1. They got destroyed, guys. They got destroyed. So, like, what are we looking at right now? I mean, Sol's not getting destroyed, but it's not really doing shit. Like, you're gonna look back on this and like it's gonna look like this, It's gonna just like, it's just gonna be like up in here, It's gonna be a monster. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about right here. And this just comes to mind, right? But let me look at like a newish coin. It's doing these kind of like Sol fractals right here. Like this is the Sol fractal. Like how many coins look like this right here, right now? Like this is the little like the Sol thing before it went, like 30,000% higher. Like it like kind of pumps and then sells off, rallies during like, our mini alt season right here. And then it just gets crushed. Bitcoin's ripping, and then just the next year belongs to them, right? You don't even know how high Pepe is going to go, man. Like Pepe could literally go to 100 billion, and it genuinely wouldn't surprise me. And people are like concerned about the local weakness, Like, what do you like? You guys just don't, you don't look at charts. Like, you don't like the data. You just like feel a type of way, and then you're like, oh, that's just like the truth because I'm feeling this type of way. Like, you got to look at this shit. You got to look at the data. It'll provide so much clarity. Historical examples.
Yeah, this right here, man. This right here. People, this is what's going to happen for the next month.
Yeah.
This is how you're all going to feel. Like, oh, the ETFs and countries are buying and sailors buying. Like,
dude, the same thing happened last cycle. You had NFL football
dude.
players taking their paychecks in Bitcoin. You had El Salvador starting to buy Bitcoin. Sam was on the cover of frickin' Forbes. You know what I mean? 3AC. Like, I remember all that stuff so well, bro. I remember it was the same type of stuff, man. There's
Yeah, you're like,
always
what if
some
I've been like,
crazy adoption cycle and like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's like, what if I've been psyoped into altcoins when I should have just been buying Bitcoin the whole time, type of
Yeah.
thing, and then they just rip. Sorry, go ahead, Tommy.
Now the pendulum swings both ways. I think that's what people forget. It's been swung very heavily in favor of Bitcoin dominance. It will probably continue to get more skewed, but it's a push-pull relationship. Just because Bitcoin is going up doesn't mean that money will inevitably never flow into altcoins, because it will. And we've talked, as Max has highlighted on this stream repeatedly, eventually that pendulum does swing back very, very heavily into altcoins, and usually all at once. I'm viewing it as a great thing that Bitcoin dominance is still going higher. I hope it goes even higher than this, quite frankly, because the higher it goes, and the higher Bitcoin USD go, the more or the larger the inevitable rotation into beta will be, which is great for our bags. So it's kind of like you have to trade in the short-term FOMO and pain to be able to experience the best part of altcoins repricing, because let's be honest, most people are not sniping every altcoin buy at the pico bottom of its performance against Bitcoin. But when the pendulum does swing back, usually you're making up for it and then some. And these charts do end up outperforming Bitcoin. It's all a matter of timing.
Oh, Tommy, you're gonna get that spot you wanted on Andy. You're gonna get it.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna get all the bags that I want more of are basically floored or at prices I want to buy them. But the liquidity bump I was hoping for this week is hopefully happening next week. I don't know. I'm going to be using an airdrop stimmy to reinforce some conviction bets. It's just a matter of when I'm going to get it.
Do you understand this, Tommy? Can you imagine if you said that to a boomer? I'm going to be using an airdrop stimmy to reinforce my bags. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man, a lot of altcoins are giving some quality entries. Flog gave a fire entry at 400 mil. We called out Barsic giving that entry this morning. Yeah, kind of nice.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of viewing it as like altcoins are clearly lagging. Being positioned in altcoins and spot, perfectly fine, perfectly normal what's happening. If you're positioned in altcoins on leverage, maybe you're a little bit more concerned, and I think you should be, because if Bitcoin even sneezes, Bitcoin could go to 100K. Your altcoin could still be at the same price if you're trading it on leverage, and then Bitcoin pulls back, sweeps all of the leverage out, and then immediately recovers. That's probably what's going to happen to a lot of these large cap altcoins with a lot of leverage on it right now, ETH probably being one of them. So, short-term thinking was probably not going to be is probably not going to be rewarded at this point. But I don't think that you're wrong to be bullish on altcoins. Just maybe don't express it so aggressively through the leverage button right now.
Yeah, don't slide the leverage button. Oh man. Yeah, it's just a matter of time, guys. It's just a matter of time. GME, Bonk still looks pretty crazy, man.
Bonk has not budged like really all week, and it got an upbit today.
Oh, it did get an upbit?
Yeah, I saw the candle when I woke up this morning, and I was like, I knew exactly what it was from.
Yep. The bit listing candle.
Just a candle straight off of Korea Open, and then immediate retrace.
Mog. Dude, Mog is giving a nice entry right now too. You guys should be grateful that these altcoins are nuking right now while Bitcoin is ripping. Seriously, like,
because I think it means two things, Tucker. Like, one, Bitcoin is going a lot higher because it's siphoning so much liquidity up right now. And two, yeah, the self-explanatory aspect, which is you're getting great entries on altcoins that are probably going to be trading a lot higher a few months from now.
yeah, Mog is down 13% today. That is a nice little move.
I'm putting
Mog
your chart
has
up,
one of
Tucker.
the most insane high time frame setups in all of crypto. Can we talk about that?
Mog looks crazy. Yeah, let's throw it up.
If you take it off log, I feel like it's even crazier.
Yeah, like
you just draw the vertical or the trend line resistance. Whenever that touches that trend line again, it's not coming back. You're just going to go straight up in a straight line.
I think it kind of did that in log mode early on. That looks familiar, where it was like grinding. A little different, right? But like it had that trend line across those highs.
Yeah, it was
oiled,
like
and then it just did not come back.
It was just like that. And it was this.
Dude, I'm like watching some people capitulate on chain right now in alt bags. It's so hard to watch. I'm like, I feel like that Walter White meme where he's like locked in the car and he's screaming. You know?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna find it for you. That's literally me
It's
right now.
So it's
I'm
so
like, no, don't do it. No.
they can't help
close.
They can't help themselves. Hang on, where's my little there? Like this.
I do think it's tough to watch bags you feel like you have a really high conviction or thesis in bleed on a day where Bitcoin is green like this, but I think it's losing sight of the forest through the trees to a large extent.
I mean, this is gonna be a fantastic entry on Mog, guys. Wow.
This is the meme, guys. I'm like watching people sell their altcoins, and I'm like, no, don't do it. No. And they can't hear me.
Oh my god. No, it's like, have you seen the Interstellar one of Matthew McConaughey with the TV?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, SC used to post some hilarious memes with like the Matic chart on the TV. The guy like screaming. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, so but I mean this kind of, you could argue that was like a fourth tap though, couldn't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, how many taps is this?
I view it as a third tap, and we're about to get the fourth, probably in like 2 weeks, maybe sooner.
Yeah, because I feel like you can't take like this much time. You know, that's like, well, I guess that's only January. Damn. I guess you could take that much time. Jeez.
I think it'll be more December, personally, but it could take until January. Regardless, I think Mog is a winner. Whenever that breaks out, man, that's gonna be a wicked breakout. I mean, it's probably going to like rip immediately to 5 or 6 billion market cap. And realistically, when you price Mog against some other large cap meme coins, if Mog is experiencing that much price appreciation, I'm assuming that other meme coins have as well. At that point, I do think it'll probably still be undervalued at like 5 or 6 billion, which is kind of funny to say out loud, but
yeah. Is this a Coinbase coin, Tommy?
yes, 100%.
I think so. Yeah,
yes.
I think so too.
Popcat and Mog will both be on Coinbase. Just a matter of when.
Guys, we have to do something about the like button, man. We're at 380 with like 700 people watching. This is unacceptable.
That's insane, man. That's insane. Should we just shut the stream down? I don't even know if I want to keep doing it now. I'm so insulted.
Good.
Let's come up with a good old pair. All right, we're going back to our roots with Lean Hog. Okay.
Back to our roots.
But you can do it by pound kilogram. Oh my god. Let's do it. Let's do it in euro kilograms.
Euro kilograms.
But let's do it versus curve.
Oh my god.
In
honor of credible.
in honor of our favorite quant. Okay, so lean hogs are, I guess, technically in an uptrend against CRV. Interesting.
What isn't in an uptrend against CRV?
Yeah. Good point, man. It's a good point. Lean hog strapped in TNT. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is a good point too, actually. We need to figure out how to make a meme coin index, Max.
I've been trying to figure it out. It's not going to be possible until they add market cap data for most of these things.
Yeah.
Well, you could always do it like time supply, but but that's a nightmare.
That's true.
100x GK. We all should have just stuck to Bitcoin. Don't fall for it, brother. Don't fall for it. Don't you dare. All right. Well, we didn't really explain why we had lean hogs versus CRV on here, but if you guys didn't know, panic like the stream immediately, or else we're gonna keep looking at it. Hang on. Have you done anything? Have they done it yet? 427. It's not bad. That's not bad. All right.
We're getting some good like button totals this week.
We need 1,000 to be the floor, man. That's what we really need. 1,000 needs to be the floor.
It's Jover for hogs.
No, this is the US 10-year now, brother. This needs
That
to
was
be
a pretty
over.
comment.
This needs to be over. We need to see that. Need it. Because it's basically the dollar.
Yeah, I was talking to Jackus about this yesterday after the live stream. He was we were thinking TLT is going to bounce pretty hard from here, but like you said, it is very correlated with the dollar.
The 10-year is literally the dollar.
And the 10-year is the same as TLT, basically. It's not the same, right? But they trade the same. I think we were joking because it's obviously I had a great trade on TLT back in August, and it goes to show. I mean, I forgot who it was that said earlier in the week, but they were like, "Yeah, you can't predict these impulsive moves with TA," and I feel like that's a perfect testament to that idea. Is I didn't, in hindsight, I didn't even know what I was trading with TLT, but I knew it was going to rip because of the chart.
Oh boy. Okay, so one of the guys asked for Michi.
This is the Apu of Solana.
Dude, why can't I get the full? Hang on. There we go. This is the Apu of Solana.
That's my take. Yeah. I don't know if the charts look similar, but the communities are the exact same.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, strap in. Hope that trend line holds, brother. Better hope. Ooh, a lot of confluence right at 2.5. I don't think that's market cap. This isn't 300 mil. This is like 180, I think. But
I feel like there are better cat bets to be made.
He says as a grown man.
I say as a grown man, but I say as a cat token connoisseur, Max.
There are better cat bets.
Because this isn't even like there's kind of so many different soul beta meme coin plays to cat specifically. You already have PopCat. You have, you kind of only have room for one dominant cat coin per chain, and then I think everything after that is you're kind of just throwing darts in the dark.
Yeah. First of all, if you get that level on Michi, you need to bid. In my opinion, that's your spot. But you said one cat coin per chain.
Yeah. That I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, only one cat coin is doing well per chain, and everything else is very much like that would only really outperform when the dominant cat coin on chain is finished.
You're saying this is only going to outperform when Popcat's done?
I don't know, man. I think I'd just rather size into Popcat than buy Michi. And I feel like I kind of know what Popcat's doing now. By the way, I know we've kind of been like looking at that structure, like befuddled, like what the hell is this? And for good reason, because it trades like a complete piece of garbage. But I do think that this is curling up. It might be hard to see, but it's like slowly working its way into a parabola. I was kind of looking at if you look at old NASDAQ charts, you can kind of see a similar Bowden. Oh man. Oh no.
I saw somebody tweet the other day that Popcat looked like the Bowden top.
I don't agree with that.
It looked how Bowden was topping. But
I think Tucker, if you go to the 3-day and look at the NASDAQ heading into the tech bubble, you see price action that looks a little bit similar, like where it's super choppy in an uptrend, but it's perpetually curling up into an inevitable parabola.
Wait, tech bubble, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
like you just saw this awful price action.
This?
More. No, we're not there yet.
Oh, here?
Or somewhere in there, yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
I see what you're saying. Just somewhere in here, basically.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the S&P did that in like 2005 and 6, right?
No, but nobody's going to catch the Popcat parabolic leg on leverage, in my opinion, but it will be a good one. They'll probably be chasing other coins by the time Popcat finally blows off. I think the better question is, what is more likely to happen, a Popcat listing on Coinbase by the end of the year or in January or February? I think that's probably more of the question that I have. Because I think whenever you do get that Coinbase listing, Popcat's going to be sending, but that's just me. Yeah. Do we think Popcat gets listed on Robinhood? Oh my God.
Probably. I mean, dude, Robinhood's gonna have Mog. They're gonna have Popcat. They added Whiff, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they added Whiff the same day as Pepe. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have.
Wait, Robinhood doesn't have a Whiff yet now.
Oh, they don't. It was just Coinbase that did.
I almost wonder if Bonk will be the second to get the Robinhood.
Probably.
Volume on Coinbase for Whiff versus Bonk, you would never guess which one CT is talking about more.
I know.
It's kind of funny, man.
Well, isn't it weird that Bonk is on Coinbase and it's not on Robinhood?
It is a little weird because it's been on Coinbase for over a year.
Yeah.
And the like, again, I'm going to bring up the volumes. Bonk is passing ETH on Coinbase for volume. It's second, or it's third only to Bitcoin and Doge. That's pretty incredible because I feel like people are talking about Bonk, but people on CT really are not talking about Bonk.
Yeah, no, not really. Not really.
Do you know who the new market maker on Bonk is?
Who? Wintermute?
No, better.
DWF?
Yes.
Wow.
DWF. And they saw Wintermute run it up on Pepe last year. You already know they're eager to try their hand at a real meme coin pump.
That's true. That's true, man.
Speaking of DWF, what is TRB doing? Oh my God, TRB gave a huge scam candle like 10 days ago, but I think we saw the chart for that.
What do we have here, Max?
Destiny.
Destiny. Where are we?
They're not exactly the same, right? So let's just go through like a few little. Let's go through a few little examples here, right? Pepe down below. The initial Jeet. Andy. The initial Jeet. And then you kind of had this like, you know, bottom region right here. Same thing. And then you had, you know, this with the rollover. Put this as demand. And then you had the despair range. And then you had this. And this one was different because Pepe, you know, took out the top side and then the bottom, right? It was like, this was your range, fake breakout here, and then down. But Andy actually, you know, took out the bottom side of the range first, right? So that was something that didn't happen over here. So just basically like range, but obviously a little bit different. And Andy's full of Jeets today. People are capitulating, which is epic to see because I know what's coming. And I'm about to unload some clips here because I'm angry and I'm vindictive on this one coin and I will make people pay. But also, it's not enough for me to long-term win on this. I need people to capitulate right before the best part comes. I need them to feel the wrath of Andy Bobandy, VFi, Fofandy. I need them to feel it. It's not enough to just make money on it and, you know, have fun. Those that didn't believe will be punished. And I'm telling you right now, like you can see the differences in these charts, but you can see the sort of range bound similarities, right? You can see the phases of like despair and hope and reaccumulation into an inevitable breakout. So I'm letting you guys know that when ETH decides it's done being a hot steaming pile of garbage, okay, let me pull up some ETH here and show you. Let me pull up a little bit of ETH. Hang on now. Let's see. So 2 charts left. Put ETH on the right. Okay. Watch this shit. I need you to study this intently. Okay. I just can't believe how close we are and how people are fumbling it right here. Like it kind of makes me feel sick a little bit, you know, because I know what's coming. And the thing is they'll buy back in. I'm just like, oh, could you just go play golf or something today? Just zone out for, a month or something. All right. Let's look at this. This is going to shock a lot of people here. Okay. The last time Pepe went crazy was when ETH, we'll mark this out right here. Okay. Hang on. Just do this. Okay. When ETH went crazy right here, look at the crosshair on the Pepe chart. Look at the crosshair on the Pepe chart. All right. Here, let me even zoom in a little bit more. Look at the crosshair on the Pepe chart. Okay. I'll label this here. Pepe goes up 12x. Okay. Right there on ETH. Okay. And I'll draw out that arrow right here. This is the spot where it went crazy. Okay. Right there. You can see the crosshairs. ETH breaks out finally above a big pivot point, and look at what happened. So I'm telling you, I think that pivot point right now is going to be this region. I think that that's the equivalent of this spot, where when ETH gets above here, it's going to just fly. Okay. So I'm looking at this chart and I'm just like, you're literally doing the Pepe fractal from, last year. And, it's the same, man. It's the same, and it's going to happen, and people are going to fuck this up real bad. But when ETH does this eventually, whenever this happens, what you're going to see with Andy is the following. It's the same things. It's the same thing. It's going to be like this. It's just going to go stupid, man. It's just going to go absolutely crazy. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm watching people on chain mess it up right before the best part because they can't take the last final shakeout, man. They just can't take it.
Well,
This is why people go ahead.
I'll be buying some of their sells here pretty soon. So
Yeah, you will, Tommy. Yeah, you will. Dude, this is why people just don't like, you tell somebody that Bitcoin does the same thing every 4 years. They're like, oh, everybody must get rich. No, people are idiots. People are going to mess it up every single time.
They do. They mess it up.
Yeah, I don't even, it's hard to watch. I agree. All right, boys. What are we looking at? What'd the like button get to?
Might be a good spot to start wrapping up.
Yeah, what are we at? 456? That is not very much higher than when I last looked at it.
That's pretty good, though.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Not too shabby. The picture on the front page.
No, I love that. Oh, man.
Epic.
All right, guys, before we can send you on your merry way, we are going to talk about a few things. I mean, we've already been highlighting some of them live on stream, so you can kind of get a feel for how these products work, guys. But a reminder, BB Terminal is a best-in-class tool, and it will be your go-to tool for this cycle. Whether or not you are an active derivatives trader like myself, whether or not you are an investor using the DCA calculator, or soon, whether or not you are a DGen using the DGen tab. And as I will continue to say, I think you guys are going to inevitably love that section of the BB Terminal. This is going to be your go-to tool for this cycle. So I would make sure to take advantage of it at these prices. And we were nice enough, as I always say, to package it with our Discord, which, if there is a better group in all of crypto, I would be stunned. Quite honestly, the amount of alpha that we provide you guys for the value that you pay is honestly unreal. There's not another group that has active daily calls with you guys for 4 or 5 hours every single day. We post our positions live, and you get to know exactly what we're thinking on the market as it happens pretty much at any time. So I can't recommend them enough, quite honestly. And as I said, we package these things together for you because we're very nice people. BB Terminal, the best tool that you can get for this cycle, inevitably by the end, with your community, your go-to alpha. You can buy these things together at a discounted rate. So make sure to check that out as well. Of course, guys, we also have the BB Academy. You are running out of time to be able to take advantage of honing your educational base or reaching trading level mastery. When this market takes off, you are not going to want to be spending a lot of time learning and educating yourself, but having that foundation and that understanding is really important to be able to navigate a market cycle. So I will reiterate, you are running out of time to be able to take advantage of BB Academy before things really heat up. It will always be there. It will always be useful, but it will be the most useful to you ahead of this cycle. So I would also be recommending BB Academy if you've not checked out that already. Find that as well as all of the products that I've already mentioned in the description below. Of course, maybe those products don't apply to you, but you are interested in having the team potentially manage your money. And maybe all of these things apply to you because there are some of you who that is applicable to. But we do have an SEC registered hedge fund, guys, that is BB Wealth Management. And we prioritize digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns while balancing the financial risk posed in any financial market. So if becoming an accredited investor or LP is something that interests you, make sure to check out the links in the description below. And if you enjoyed Market Check today, we'll be back for another episode tomorrow. I can't believe it's already we're already at the midpoint of the week, but I guess time will fly when Bitcoin is moving like this, right? But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a reminder that we are live Monday through Friday whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. Of course, make sure to check out Wabi's show as well, Market Talk, which is hosted through our Because Bitcoin Twitter account. So stay following and subscribe both Wabi and our Twitter, Because Bitcoin, so that you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. That's it from us, guys. We hope that you enjoyed the show today. Obviously, Bitcoin is kind of sucking the life out of the room right now, but that is not something that is going to continue forever. And that is ultimately something that is very bullish for the crypto market in its entirety. So we will see you all tomorrow to see where the market is. But until then, guys, thanks again. And as always, stay safe.